Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. We are live for the Sunday Unfiltered podcast. Every Sunday, 9 p.m., we should be here delivering you the Sunday Unfiltered podcast. We got man like Ash. You get me? Your debut was successful, so we had to bring you on for another time. You know what I'm saying? What are you saying, bro?
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Feeling good. Always happy to be here. But after yesterday's performance, what can you say?
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
talk about it.
absolutely. Yeah, definitely, man. We're gonna get into it. It's gonna get definitely into it. Andy, it's been a while. How are you, mate? Everything all good?
Yeah, things okay, doing okay, but like you say, football's your escape, and even that can't give you solace, can it?
Yeah, exactly, man. Absolutely, absolutely, mate. It's not the greatest of football. And flawless in the building, flawless. What are you saying, broski?
I'm blessed, man. I'm good. But yo, gotta wish you a happy birthday. You feel me, man? Like,
Come
have
on,
to give you a happy birthday. Everyone in the chat, salute Saeed for what he does. Obviously, I've said this to you privately, said this to you publicly, man. One of the best out here.
come on.
Like, point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? One of the GOATs of this content creator space. So everybody, make sure, whether you're a rival or not, give Saeed his flowers for what he does and giving his platform up. And just, you've been out here for a long time, man, doing this at a high
Come
level.
on, man.
You feel me? Like a
Come
high,
on.
high level. So, yo,
Yeah,
salute
happy
to you.
birthday, mate.
And happy birthday
Happy
again,
birthday,
man.
mate. All the
Yeah,
best.
100%.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I love for that, man. I appreciate
Of
the
course, man.
kind words, man. And like I said, man, new year and same goals, man. Just keep going, man. Keep growing the channel and whatnot. So yeah, man. I appreciate everybody showing support. I wanted to quickly just mention the Sir Bob Charlton death, and everyone kind of have their say on the passing of Sir Bob Charlton. Andy, you probably heard more stories than us. Maybe your dad and that watching him back in the day and whatnot. And yeah, what did you think when you heard about the death, mate? Sadly passed away yesterday.
Yeah, I'll say you say it's okay to shed a tear, man, because I did. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's what growing up was watching United. You know, I never seen the guy play, but my dad gave me a video on the history of Man United. There's your education in sports science, Andy. Watch it. Watch the history. And I watched the history of Man United, and Bobby Charlton was heavily involved in some of the goals he scored. I mean, I think there was one in 67 in the Charity Shield against Tottenham. In black and white, it's there in black and white on Google. If you Google on YouTube, he hits it like a thunderbolt, absolute thunderbolt. It's like four, but with the foot. You know what I mean? He had the right shot on him. And when I was a kid in the 80s, Bobby Charlton did soccer schools in and around Manchester, and he came to my school with Brian Kidd in the mid 80s, and I remember them coming in an old, they come down in the 80s car Ford Sierra, teaching all the kids, and it was like, wow, you know what I mean? And they say it connects to everybody. I mean, David Beckham's dad, the reason why he's a United fan was because he loved Bobby Charlton. So it resonates with a lot of a generation when it filters down. And we've got a stand named after him as well. So yeah.
Ash, any words you want to
Yeah,
say
mate.
about Bob
Loads. I mean, it's
Charlton?
a Bobby. It's a Bobby in it. He's part of our culture, our history, the legacy. He's the first player that I ever knew as a Man United fan. My nana teaching me about Sir Bobby and George Best and stuff. He was the first name that I ever known, and I taught my boy. He's 6 now, and he was the first name I taught him about. For Manchester United was Sir Bobby. I told him about the tragedy, the Munich disaster, him being able to come back, and having to look around and play on the football field and look to the positions all around and see different people there. Knowing that you'd never see your brothers that you'd played on the football field with ever again. And to go through that and then to go and win the Champions League, win a World Cup, win a Ballon d'Or, one of only 9 players to have done that in the history of world football. I mean, just the incredible legacy, and not just as a footballer, but as a man. I don't think I've ever heard a bad word spoke about the man. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say, never heard a negative story, never heard any kind of just negativity surrounding the fella. Always seen. The one thing I regret is not being able to just have a picture, shake the man's hand, just say thank you. Do you know what I mean? But it's not a time for my regrets, is it? It's his family, and send out all the love to Sir Bobby's friends, his close family, and And yeah, devastating. Like Andy was saying there, shed a tear. It's difficult not to shed a tear if you've been entrenched in Manchester United your entire life. He is Man United, isn't he? So it was, not to make light of it, but that death hit worse than some members of families' deaths of it. Do you know what I mean? It was hard, it was tough, and yeah, it's what a man, what a legacy, and we'll be remembered for the rest of time. Greatest English player ever, and yeah. We'll celebrate him every single year, and United fans, we do that, don't we? We appreciate our legends. So nothing but respect for the man.
No, proper words there, said, man. Flawless, you as well. Legends. You can say legends, but this is more than a legend, isn't it? This is almost like Man United, like Mr. Man United, isn't it? Like through the whole years.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I can only echo what Andy and Ash both said, and he's more than a legend. Like at the football club, it's iconic, and I think what shows that is that we're in 2023 and we still talk about him like the way we do. He's still spoken about like he's just been playing. Bear in mind, he played in the 50s and the 60s. He's transcended generations upon generations. You heard Ash mention about passing it on to his son. You hear Andy mention that he was taught about it as well. And that's just credit to him as a footballer and what he did for the football club. That we still in 2033, 43, 53, we're still going to be speaking about him. So he's more than a legend. He is iconic. Like 100%. And RIP to Sir Bobby.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. RIP to Sir Bobby. And yeah, hopefully we get to celebrate his life on Tuesday, and obviously Saturday the Manchester Derby as well. Hopefully there's a big tribute for him as well. Big up to everybody who's locked in. Big up, happy birthday, Said. Welcome to the grey hairs. Man, you never know. It could be coming soon, man. It could be coming soon. Big up to Lucas. Says, love the respect, lads. We never. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Lucas, big up to you, my guys. I love the respect, lads. We never forget. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Let's get straight into it, man. Flawless, man. Chat to me. Yesterday, let's talk about yesterday before we talk about the style of play and our attack. I mean, 3 points, we move, or are you still wanting more? Because what we're watching is not great, is it, man? You know what I mean?
I must still. Yeah, of course, I want more, but I don't think it's there. I'm saying this is why I don't even get mad about our performances. Yes, it's disappointing. Yes, it's frustrating, but I can't ask for more. We're going into games knowing that, and I said this like in the build up to the game. Yeah, I think we'll win the game, but will we play well? Will we look good? No. And that's the way it went. Like it's literally rinse and repeat from the Brentford performance and previous performances before that as well. Yeah, we created a little bit more, but let's be honest, we're playing Sheffield United. Yes, they are in the Premier League, but they're a championship side. They're probably, I think most people, general consensus is that Sheffield United are going to get relegated. And we struggled at times. It's more than happiness when we win games. It's more relief. When we beat Sheffield United and the low scores that goal late, I'm more relieved. When we beat Brentford and Scott McTominay gets them 2 late goals, it's more relief. Yes, 10, 15 minutes after that, I'm happy. Why is the third thing relief? Why do I feel like we're fighting a murder case and we beat it? You know what I'm saying? And it's just sheer relief. You know what I'm saying? Rather than joy and happiness of playing Sheffield United. That should be a one-off. It should be a one-off where you don't play too well in a game. You get a result away from home and you say, it's not about the performance, it's about the result. Yes, winning is important, of course, because if we drew or lost, we'd be here criticizing the players and the managers more, but it isn't good. Look at what we won by, a late Dalot goal. Bear in mind, the keeper should have saved it. Yeah, we hit the bar a couple times. Bruno hit the bar from a free kick. Amrabat from long range as well, but it comes back to, I know you mentioned it in the title, Lacklustre attack, and we'll speak on it further shortly, but just us creating. And we're playing a championship side. Yes, players are missing, but again, I can't expect more because I know what we're going to get. Like, that's just legit what it is. Like, who stands out for us, who plays well. And the manager, again, continuing to play players out of form. What does it take for some of these players to be dropped? They've been underperforming now. It's over 2 months. We're closing in on November. And yet, all season long, we've watched the same players underperform. Credit to Harry Maguire because he played well. Johnny Evans, for all the criticism, has been one of our better players this season. He's actually been consistent and dependable. I have no issues with him. But yeah, man, it's just a lack of quality. And the pressure's getting to the manager, in my eyes. The pressure is getting to the manager, and he's making decisions that I really don't understand. And it's really a complete 181 from last season.
You know what? I just think for me, it's one of them where, yes, there were chances yesterday, and certain players should have buried them. But I just think overall, this team isn't playing like a team. Like Sheffield United, they were very, very good in that first half, and they played better football than us. I just think we're looking for moments. We're looking for, if we don't get that chance, we're almost like, oh shit, we're not going to have a chance in a while now. So it's like that's kind of gone in that regards. I mean, Ash, are you happy with the way we're playing at the minute? I mean, we've got no draws this season. It's either loss or wins. There's no in between. So that's where I think the kind of situation is with Man United. You don't know what you're going to get in terms of wins or losses.
It looks like a bunch of strangers thrown together, doesn't it? That's what it looks like. The first 30 minutes there, they look like they've got no kind of partnerships developed. They look like they've got no relationship, no kind of chemistry between each other. You'd think, like I just said, it feel like a bunch of strangers who've just been thrown together. In the first 30 minutes as well, you see Bruno, and I love Bruno, don't get me wrong, we all love Bruno, but instead of like holding onto the ball, he's looking for that ball over the top, that like Hollywood ball, and it's just not maintaining the possession, and it brings on more pressure and more stress for the players. And I think it was Delo and Amrabat bumping into each other, and whenever there's a 50-50 between our players, you're worried, you're scared, you're thinking, what's going on here? Who's going to get to it? Do they know who's going to? There's no call shouts. There's kind of no relationships being built there, and it's confusing. And one of the things that I'd heard from the press conference, the post-press conference, was Ten Hag, when he was asked, he said something about dynamic structures, and he allows the players to kind of play dynamically. And what that says to me is they just play out how they want to play, essentially. They haven't got the routines and the structures that maybe it's because maybe they've not got the football IQ to have that, and he's not able to kind of put that onto the players. But I don't know. We've had him there for 12 months now. Further on, and we're not seeing any kind of like structure really. How many times have you heard the pundits and media turn around and say, "How do United play? What's the way they kind of look to play?" And you see it with Chelsea, you see it with Pochettino, you see it with the Spurs manager Postecoglou comes in and got some. He's got him like a tuned, well-oiled unit. Do you know what I mean? And with us, it just looks like no chemistry. They don't know each other. They never met before, and it's poor really. And it's just been the story of our season. I can't remember a good game we've had this season. I don't think we had. You'd probably say Crystal Palace in the League Cup.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah. Carabao Cup,
that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, you bring in the kids.
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't understand why Hannibal's not getting more game time as well. Because every time we've seen him on the field, we heard them stats coming out. And I'm not the biggest for stats, but you hear the fact that Hannibal ran more than any other player for Manchester United during Ten Hag's tenure. He's pressed more. He's passing stats are way above the 90% and all that. And you think that for a player to play away from home to be able to control and dictate the play like he allowed us to do in the first half against Burnley, I don't understand why he's not getting more game time, and it's frustrating to see. So I don't know. It's just more of the same, isn't it?
Yeah. Big up to Lucas again. It says panel's question: what is a team's identity? Well, that was the actual kind of title of the video, but big up to Lucas for reminding
smiling about this. He knows. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
carry on.
You know what? I don't know. I haven't got an answer. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm one of them where I back Ten Hag, but it's kind of difficult for me to back him in a sense of when people ask me what's his identity, I'm like, well, right now we're just going game to game. That's what I feel like for me. It's game to game. It's just, you know what, let's figure it out as we go along. But you can't do that, man. In this Premier League right now, maybe in the cup competitions we might do well, and that's what you can actually do. You can go game to game and you can assess games as you go along. But I'm sorry, man, I don't see what we're trying to do right now. And Ten Hag has got to figure this out, because this season the expectations goes even bigger, Andy. That last season was the first good season, but this season need to go a step further now and try and become his version of Man United. Do you agree, or do you think we're being harsh on him a little bit?
Well, I think we'll be a little bit harsh. It's still the players. I mean, I watched Aston Villa play today. It seems everybody has a style of play. Even Sheffield United have a style of play, and they play to the best of their ability with it. We don't. And these players, it does not sync with them. It does not register with them.
Bless me.
Like I say, they are the walking dead. They're clueless, mindless, and they just run on instinct. And if it ever clicked, they would be absolutely brilliant, but it will never click. It's game by game. And honestly, it's, let's say Bruno yesterday, even Rashford, way below par, way below par. Harry Maguire gets man in a match. Fair play, mate. Yeah, you come back to Sheffield United. The media have been bigging him up, but did anyone pick up on his headering last night? He was just headering it, just headering it anywhere, not looking where what he wants to put it straight back into Sheffield United. Like you say, you got Dolo, you got crashing into Lindelof and that. If people started using this, like start talking, you might start getting some results. It's 11 individuals with no togetherness looking for a moment of individualness when you should work as a team. Everybody in the Premier League has a style of play, bar us. And that is what is the most disappointing. And I say to you, said this right, it's going game by game and trying to figure it out. It's like plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. Oh, do you know what? Even Ten Hag must be scratching his head with his privately. What the fuck do I do with this bunch of fucking bricks sometimes? Because it was so last night I could say fair enough, the emotion, we got through it, right? We got through it because for Sir Bobby. I can understand that. But urgency, going forward, working together, wanting it. Sheffield United did more in 35 minutes than we've done all season. And that's what's so frustrating. The penny will never drop with some of these players. They play for themselves. They don't play together. And that is what is the most frustrating thing. Now, like you say, we've got Champions League Tuesday and next Sunday. We've got Big Steve's lot. To be fair, they're not firing, but...
Yeah, easy 3 points for us, isn't it?
Easy 3 points. Do you know what? So next Sunday, man, it could be car crash TV.
Yeah, next Sunday. Yeah, I know. That's why for me the worry comes from. That's why it's almost like you're going into that car crash, you know what I mean? And you need to find the hazards now. And these are the hazards we're talking about. These if you don't look at it right now, later on when it comes to I'm not going to say here, I never saw it coming because I have seen it coming. I don't think we've been playing well. I don't think there's been one game where I'm like...
Last year's derby, the Etihad, I saw that coming right away. So I just checked out. As soon before we even kicked off, I thought, this is gone, this is done. And 6-3 said it all. And I was in the pub getting drunk. And that was my only way to deal with it. So I knew what was coming. But this season, you don't know what's coming. This team can go on a run. They can beat the teams. We've seen it. It's proven. But this team is Jekyll and Hyde. They will down tools. I don't want to play. You're 7-0 down at Anfield. I don't care. Blame it on someone else. Losing to Brentford. I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't register. Now, maybe it's today's generation player. Like the so out of touch sometimes with reality. And that's the way it is. Because 20 years ago, I watched the Netflix documentary on Bex. Players give the fucking all for the club. And these players don't do it. They're either playing on their PS5, waiting for the fucking transfer, and they'll never never apologising. That's their reality. I'm fucking brilliant on a PS5. Well, what do you do to you, Jaden? You'll never fucking play for Man United again. But some of these other players as well, they just live in their own bubble to protect themselves. And I scratch my head. I really do.
Nah, 100%, man. Big up to Teeman says, if Rashford wasn't from the academy, he would be getting way more criticism. He is shocking a footballer and his attitude stinks. Should have sold to PSG. I mean, he worked great. He made one pass to Højlund and he should have scored as well. But again, you know what it is as well? Don't get me wrong. Ten Hag is dragging a lot of players as well in terms of, players that are not performing. The problem is, though, Flawless, he's got to drop them, man. Like Mount all of a sudden doesn't get to play. And he's been one of our, I would say, better players in terms of Bruno and whatnot. And he don't even play. And I'm like, you talk about Hannibal, he comes out of the team. I think Ten Hag is so right now under pressure. He's going by who can deliver for me still, who can still kind of get me the odd goal here and there or what. That's why I gave McTominay another game because he was like, you know what, he scored last game and he might save me again.
I think it's just straight up panic. I think we're watching the pressure get to him in real time. We're watching it. Because the decisions that he's making, you mentioned Mason Mount. The reason why he's not played Mason Mount, I don't give him credit for it because I don't give you fire for putting out fires that you started, but he's realized he's not good enough. He's realized him and Bruno can't play in the same midfield. We discussed it on here. I said it verbatim. Horrible signing. Horrific. People told me, you don't know what you're talking about. Wait and see. We've seen it once. We've seen it twice. Them two play together. And now we're seeing the level that Mason Mount's at. And the reason why I'm not super critical of him is because we know his level. He's not much better than what he's showing. He's a good player at best. When has that ever been good enough for Manchester United? So, like I said, we are seeing Ten Hag under pressure. And yes, some of these players, the vast majority of these players are not good enough. 100% agree with that, without doubt. But one, he keeps picking these players. And two, this is now his team. You spent X amount. What is it? 300 million, 350 million. When you look at the players that are out there, this is your signing. Rashford, he continues to play. Bruno, you gave captaincy to. Mount, you signed. The list goes on. Højlund's out there. You continue to pick Lindelof, who's not good enough. Onana's your goalkeeper. The list goes on and on and on. This is why I don't hit I hear it with players not being good enough. Yes. But now this is one either players you signed, players you've said, you're my guy, i.e. Bruno, for example. And also on top of that, players you've gave new contracts to. So yes, as much of these players are not good enough and will criticize them, etc., I also look at the manager and go, this is on you. Because you continue to play these guys. You continue. So you're going to die by these players. How Rashford's still playing, I don't know. But we know he's going to play against Copenhagen and he's going to play against Manchester City.
We know.
Same with Bruno. Same with Linda. The list goes on. No matter where you perform, whether you're a 0 out of 10, whether you're a 10 out of 10, or somewhere in the middle, you just going to play. So it's on you. And that's just legit what's happening. And it's so different, like I said earlier, from last season, where we seen him players not play. There was a time where Casemiro was ahead of McTominay. McTominay was ahead of Casemiro because McTominay was playing well. And rightfully so. It was on merit. And then obviously McTominay then fell off and Casemiro got in the side. But where is that gone? But again, I think it just ties down into pressure. And if he carries on like this, yeah, we're winning games, but we all know it's not sustainable. Performing like that, Sheffield United, performing against Brentford, forget the wins. Look at the actual context of the wins. At the low shot from outside the box that the keeper should save. Playing Brentford at home. These ain't great sides. Sheffield United are a championship side. Brentford at best, top 10? Mid-table side? What are we doing here? But we're
making it so difficult for ourselves. Yeah, you're spot on. Every game this season, we're making it difficult for ourselves. And, there's been a lot of defeats in there. Like Brighton at home, we should be beating them. I get it. It's Brighton and they're doing well this season. But you got to win your home games as well. You know what I mean? But we haven't done that. I mean, Ash, in terms of it improving for Ten Hag, you know what I mean, and the style, do you reckon he's got a plan for this? And do you reckon what we do in training? Because a lot of people have been talking about it lately, and this is one of the things where I was like with Sancho, I don't think it is to do with the training. I think there's something deeper there. But what are we doing in training? Because he must be doing something in terms of tactics wise, pressing. What are we doing in training? What do you think we're doing in training?
I think, you know what? I think it's difficult for him to kind of get any routines or any systems in training because the amount of injuries that we've got. I mean, you look at his back four and even the back four and the midfield three. Out of those, 7 players, one of those was his signing. That was Amrabat from the Sheffield game. The entire back four, those weren't his players. Then you've got Amrabat, and that's it. So really, he's as much as Flores was saying. He's had a year to have these players. Really, he wanted to get rid of Harry Maguire. Lindelof wasn't really his option. He wanted to bring in players like Todibo. He wanted Kim Min-jae in the summer, who went to Bayern. So he's wanted defenders and wanted kind of different players around the back. I mean, a fully fit Lisandro Martinez makes a big difference now. Okay, you might say, well, he's had a bad season this season, but now we know that with his metatarsal injury, he was basically playing with that, from the start of the season. He was playing with a bruised metatarsal, and then he's eventually gone on to have the surgery. So you look at the back four, and it's ropey and building those structures, building those systems. Like I said in the post-match, at the moment, everything does feel a little bit dynamic. There is no structure there, and it's clear to see. We can all see there's no structure. They all look like and what makes it worse and what makes it more evident is the fact that there's no leaders there. There's no one to grab anyone by the scruff of the neck. Keep it tight, keep it short. Let's hold on to the ball. Casemiro looked like that man last season for big parts last season. Casemiro looked like he would be the player that would be kind of galvanizing the team and getting them together a little bit. Okay, all right, in the big games. He didn't play in the 6-3 against City. I can't remember if he played. Did he miss the Liverpool 7-0? I can't remember that one.
No, he was there. He
Can't
played
remember
that one.
He was there. He was there.
Yeah, but
he nearly scored an header. He nearly scored an header before the damn game.
Oh yeah.
He had the miss.
And that's probably the only time where you look last season and Casemiro kind of didn't, wasn't galvanizing our team, galvanizing the players, and it just feels like we're lacking that little bit of leadership and quality. And you should look to Bruno Fernandes being our captain, controlling the ball, keeping the ball in the first 30, 40 minutes. How many times did we give away the possession? It was dominant by Sheffield in that first 35, 40 minutes. It was poor from us. And Bruno, every time he got on the ball, now don't get me wrong, I love Bruno. Again, he's a fantastic, a best signing that we've had the last 5 seasons, probably the best signing we've had the last 10 seasons, really. But when you need a little bit of control, a little bit of stability, a little bit of calm, Bruno instead looks to go for the wonder ball. He looks to try and create something. He looks to try and we lose the ball a little bit too often. And I don't know whether that's Ten Hag telling him to stretch the play, telling him to put the ball on the toes of the Sheffield defenders and then press high up in the way that Brighton do. Brighton under De Zerbi, they like to play the ball a little bit longer so that the opposition has got the ball in the defence. And then once the opposition have got the ball in the defence, then you activate the heavy press so that you can create transitions from that and high up the field. Now, you've seen early on in the season against Spurs, we're one of the best pressing teams high up in the field in the Premier League when it comes to the stats. So when our opponents have got the ball, as you saw against Sheffield last night, that when the misplaced pass into Rashford, and then Rashford passes it into Højlund. Now it gets a little bit caught under his feet, and he makes a weak shot to the goalkeeper. But it's those moments where Ten Hag wants the ball, in our opponent's half with them on the ball, and then activating the press. But at the moment, it looks like we're a little bit too laboured from Harry Maguire and Evans and the fullbacks being able to push up the field, and then also with the contain, with Rashford looking a little bit, just on his heels, not pressing. I don't know what's happened with Rashford. I mean, it might be a little bit libelous saying this, but he broke up with his long-time missus this season, and maybe he just got a bit of the blues. Do you know what I mean? And okay, I'm making all kind of excuses and all that. But
if that's the case, get her back. If that's the case, get her back. Get her back. Hey, if she's watching, if that's it, get her back.
I'm trying to find excuses for him. Do you know what I mean? Because you're watching it without Old Trafford. We see him, and he's just wandering. He's not putting in the effort. He's not putting in the work. Right? And
I think his confidence is just rock bottom. I think his confidence is just rock bottom. He is the definition. I've said this before of a confidence player. And his confidence is absolutely. And this is not me making excuses because he has been woeful. But his confidence is that low, and it's showing. When you watch him, you can see his confidence. You can see his confidence is low. Yeah, go on, Andy.
You remember that Carabao Cup final? We were on fire, and he was on fire in that. Since that, his standard has dropped like a stone.
Mate, that's when his missus left him.
What's he done?
Is it?
You might be on to something.
I don't think so. I think it was in the summer. I think he was a bit. I think he might have been a bit. Yeah. You know what it is for me? I just think. I'll be honest with you. I think the goals are good, but I just don't think he's that sort of a player that we think he is, man. I don't know. He's a confidence player. When you rely on your confidence and you don't have that overall ability to kind of have the principles of, knowing when to pass, knowing when to give the ball. These are simple principles in footballer.
Maybe a big call's got to be made next week. I won't play Rashford in the derby.
That's what I'm saying.
I won't play him in the derby.
I wouldn't even play Bruno in the derby. I wouldn't play Bruno.
Yeah, but that ties in. Yeah, sorry to go on, fam.
No, you go for it.
I was going to say that ties into dropping players because Ash mentioned about the players who are playing who he wanted to get rid of. Treat all these, if you don't want all of these players, treat them like how you do Sancho. We know clear as day, whether you think his treatment of Sancho is right or wrong is not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking, it's clear as day, you don't want to play Sancho. Treat the rest of them like that. If all these, if there's so many players here who are hindering what you are doing so badly, leave then if that's the case. I say this all the time about.
Yeah.
This is where the players who know they're not playing well are taking advantage of Eric Ten Hag. I'm okay because I'm Marcus Rashford. I'm okay because I'm Bruno. Yeah, and it's not on. We've seen it. He dropped Casemiro, didn't he? He took him off. He took Rashford off. And the applause and the sack. I'll openly admit it. I was happy.
You know what as well, Andy. At the start of the season, we were starting Garnacho, weren't we? So it shows that tonight he is willing from time to time to bring players out and drag players out. It's just that I feel like we're at bare bones, and you've seen Garnacho himself. Who do you play instead of Rashford? You put Garnacho in there when you know that he's blistering coming off the bench.
Right.
When he is an option.
Go to that League Cup match against Crystal Palace, right? The performance, the confidence, the energy, the flowing. Why haven't we stuck with that going into the next game and the game after that? It's like
exactly.
If it ain't broke, why fix it? I don't understand it. Because if you carry on with that momentum, that confidence, we won't be in this predicament. You know what I mean? That's your Christmas present right there, guys. Yeah. You've seen 3 goals scored at Old Trafford. You won't get any more before Christmas. We might get a fucking ton on the derby on Saturday, but in the wrong fucking net.
But that's it. The team, you said it there, Andy. That team played well against Palace.
Yeah,
therefore, give it a run out again. And if it's going wrong the next 45 minutes against Palace, then you can bring on Rashford and bring on Bruno and bring on whoever you want. That's my biggest. Bring players in on merit. Keep your shirt. Like I hear Garnacho off the bench. I think that's where he's best. But the issue that he has is Rashford is playing terrible. Play Garnacho. And when you drop players properly. None of this, you're dropped, you don't start the next game and you get 45. No, you don't get on the pitch. Let these men not see grass for 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? You don't play against Copenhagen. You don't play against City in the derby. Guaranteed, next time they play, there is some form of reaction, motivation. They're comfortable. Complacency.
No, because they'll spit the dummy out, mate. I could see Rashford spitting his dummy out.
If he spits his dummy out,
the Rashford FC fan club would come out. Oh, it's not fair, and they'll go in on Ten Hag.
Okay, the thing is, if he spits his dummy out, that lets us know we don't need you here. If you get dropped because of poor form, and that's when the manager has to be sure. Rashford can't cry and complain. Bruno, nobody who's played.
You know what? You say.
Complain. Go on.
You say that, but Rashford generally, whenever he's been dropped, we saw Wolves last year when he turned up late. Whenever he's been dropped, generally he's come back better, come back firing. So I think like Andy and like you're saying, he needs that. He needs to be dropped. He needs to be benched. You know what I mean, I can't imagine Rashford spitting his dummy out. But I feel like you saw Crystal Palace, like you were saying. We had a great performance there, and you've not seen. Mason Mount he's not had a bad performance last couple of games, and then he misses the Sheffield game for some reason. Anthony starts, he's not had a good performance now for how long? Do you know what I mean? It makes no sense how he's getting in the team all the time. When you can play Mount on that right hand side, you saw the few instances when we did deliver the ball into the box. Højlund was close to getting onto those, and he's had no service aerially into the box. It makes no sense. Like we've bought a main key piece striker there to be given that service, and he's not being given the service. So whenever he has been given the service, he had 2 chances last night, he should be given 5, 6, 7 a game minimum. And he's going to score 1 or 2.
Haaland has about 10. Haaland gets so many chances. The reason why he does so well, he actually misses a lot of chances, but you know what? He actually gets more chances. And that's the only way you're going to succeed in a team that doesn't do well. I'm just going to get this quick super chat here. FA Cup final. Big up to Teamman. Big up to everybody who sends their donations to the channel. FA Cup final. Rashford didn't even try for 50-50 against the Blue Shites. How many times does he throw up arms instead of tracking back? But
nobody tries in 50-50s. Nobody tries in 50. Who tries in 50-50s for United? There isn't a player that goes in and smashes other players.
Maybe
I don't think there's one player in our squad.
Just cast that I can think of. Amrabat as well. I can throw in the mix from what I've seen, like in a shot. But I get what you're saying. Overall, it's not. It's not a lot.
The thing is, if we get done next Sunday and it's say it's convincing, one-sided, you know what? Rashford can go away and hide. So can Bruno. They'll just go away and hide. But they'll accept, and we have to take the stick and the criticism. They can run away and they can disappear. We have to take the stick, and it's like they say, individual performances and responsibility. If you drop him, make a big statement. You drop him. Rashford, I'm not playing you Tuesday. You're not playing Sunday either. I don't care how everybody reacts on the pitch in the media. You are not doing what you're paid to do. That's it. It should be. It's not about you what you call it, who you are, what you stand for. It's about what you do, hard work on the pitch. I mean, in my line of work, fucking hell, Rashford couldn't do a night shift packing fruit and veg because you won't know where to fucking start. You know what I mean? You try that. You will load the lorry at fucking 3:30 in the morning, Rashford. You fucking try it with a forklift truck. And a what you call it, a bump truck, fucking doing bananas, potatoes.
I used to work in Asda. It's hard work, man.
I did the greatest. I did the greatest, yo. You wouldn't know where to fucking start.
Andy, by the way, you might have to come in and out, Andy. Your internet is we can't really see you in that one, but come in and out, Andy.
Thank you,
but you know what, though?
I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, no worries. Make sure you guys like the video as well. We've not even got 200 likes yet. Come on, guys, let's get the likes up, man. We need to. Yeah, man. 200 likes.
Saeed's birthday, and you lot can't even hit the like button on a man's birthday. Bump up the likes. What are we doing here, man? Bump up the likes.
Listen, like for good luck, boys. Come on, get them likes in. What are we talking about? Come on.
Come on. Yeah. You know what it is though? I think we're at that stage now where I think the players dictate the style of football. I think right now, and that's where I think Ten Hag should never have, almost kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it should never have got to that. I think for me, Flawless, where, the players dictate to what the manager does. And even if they get you out of trouble, you shouldn't do that because I feel like later on down the line, you will earn more respect for going through the motions and going through the pain. And then later on, like maybe Arteta in a sense has done, but obviously Arteta could have been sacked, but he got rid of certain personnel. He kept his style of football. He kept doing him. Like, you see what I mean? Like, I feel like Ten Hag needs to go back to that in that regards because it was there last season. It was there last season, and all of a sudden it's changed.
And that's what don't make no sense is the fact that we had the same problems last season in them first two games. He's like, all right, this isn't working. Let me switch it up, and then he had success for the rest of the season. Then we start this season, we struggle, and then he's not even attempted to switch it up because with the things we're mentioning, there's no surefire solution. Like, I'm not sat here saying if we drop these players who are not good enough, the players that come in are definitely going to perform and we're going to perform better. What I'm saying is at least attempt to do it. We already know for sure what is not working. We've been playing nearly 3 months of the season. How much more evidence do you need from certain players where you go, this is not working. These tactics are working. The tactics are not working. The individuals are not working together. We're not looking even as a functioning outfit. We're not organized. So what is it going to happen? Is it going to take for injuries for you to go, all right? Because I see people say that a lot. Oh, who do we have instead of player A, player B, player C? Okay, so if them players was injured, would we go out there with 10 men or would you replace them? And we've seen this, and people don't have that same energy for Sancho. And I'm not saying Sancho shouldn't play. What I'm saying is we've seen Palestri, who's come through the youth system, play ahead of him. We've seen Garnacho play ahead of him. We've seen Hannibal play as well. So how come you can do that for Sancho, but when it comes to other players, you don't want to do that? Again, not necessarily saying the players who replace said players who are senior players who are not playing well actually perform. But what I'm saying is at least attempt to do it. I want to see some effort of you trying to switch it up because how many poor performances do we need to see before we go, you know what, how many games this season have we scored and then conceded? I think it's been like 5 matches. It happened against Sheffield United, happened against Brighton, happened against Bayern Munich. The list goes on. Where I'm on watch-alongs, I'm going, yeah, we're going to concede here. The 2 of the goals we conceded against Bayern Munich, I'm like, yeah, we're going to concede and then we concede. Like legit, or play well for 20 minutes and then concede with the first shot on target. It's
people say 7. Yeah, 7 times.
Like it's 7 times in 13 matches. So it's over half that this is happening and you don't go. And he's an intelligent man. You know what I'm saying? But this just goes to show how pressure's getting to him. And he will eventually get sacked if he continues with these players. Because he's going to continue to play like Anthony coming back into the side. Why? When is the last time Anthony had an average game? Not play well. When is the last time Anthony was a 5 out of 10? And you go, yeah, he was okay today. But yeah, comes back into the side, couple appearances off the bench, and then he's starting again.
Crazy, isn't it, man? Straight into the team, innit? Straight into the team.
Why? And he don't even offer nothing. That's the thing is, I feel for Højlund. He's starving. You got Anthony, Bruno, and Rashford out of form behind you. Nobody.
The thing is, as well, really, you could say he took Mount's place. I mean, maybe you could argue that McTominay took Mount's place, but you move Mount over to that right hand side where Anthony was. You put Hannibal or you keep McTominay in there. You've got a little bit more like just numbers in the midfield there. You've got a little bit more control on the ball. Instead where Anthony, he's one of those players that he often gets dispossessed. And when he is in the final third, he's looking to do things for himself. He's not looking to assist players or he's looking... How many times have you seen him just be by himself and then not even look to his players. I mean, we had a player like that years ago, Nani, but Nani had an end product. Do you know what I mean? Nani could actually score. You know, he'd actually do
Nani
things.
Right now. I would love Nani
I know,
right
do you
now.
know what I mean?
I would love.
But you remember, we used to be all frustrated, like, pick your head up, pass the ball. I mean, with Anthony yesterday, he takes that.
Forest away, that was time. We won 2-1. Yeah, he scored. I think he scored in that game. And I think Dalot scored as well. Dalot scored the winner. Yeah, Dalot scored the winner.
That was his last. That was March 16th of April.
So that's the thing
he scored or assisted.
These men don't even get goals and assists, and you're still persisting with him. Anthony don't. Rashford's record's been horrific. All right, Bruno may scam a goal or assist. That's it. So it's not even like these players are performing. Like people are like, oh, play them through bad form. We've seen him in good form. Good form at best is Rashford. Rashford had to get 40 GNA for us to finish third and win a trophy. Yeah. What are we doing? Lacklustre attack. This attack been lackluster. From Ten Hag's start up until now, this attack has been lackluster. We scored 58 league goals last season. We talk. Rashford got 18 of them.
You know what though? You know what's frustrating is Sancho. You know, as much as you can say, oh, you know, he should have had chances and that. He probably had the best opportunity just keeping his mouth shut when, you know, all this stuff happened with Brazil with Anthony and that. He had his chance to get into the team then. Just come back, say sorry, get yourself into the team and show up. Like, how can you not want to be? Old Trafford's a coliseum. You've got thousands of people cheering you, shouting your name. You know, you've got people wearing your shirt outside the ground. You've got everybody supporting you, wanting you to do well and all that kind of stuff. He don't care, doesn't turn up, he's not bothered, not interested, wants to go home and play on his PlayStation. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's the mentality there?
Now it's done because obviously I don't know if you heard the news today, but he looks like Ten Hag doesn't want.
But Saeed, it breaks your heart because you know the quality of the man. Like Sancho was he's talented. The amount of hard work and the effort. Yeah, incredibly talented, and we've lost a gem there just through the lack of effort and lack of commitment. And I said it on last week's show. You know, talent beats hard. Hard work beats talent if talent doesn't work hard, and that's it essentially. The kid just doesn't want to work hard, doesn't want to put a shift in. And if he just did, he just turned up a little bit, then we would have had a player. But you know, Anthony, okay, you can see he puts the odd shift in from time to time, but the end product's just not there. You know, Police do the same.
And look at the bright side. At least he's got a gaming future online. He can be a gamer sitting in there, do a YouTube channel. If you're that fucking you think you have, do that.
He would be successful doing that. But here's the thing is with Sancho, this is just typical of Manchester United. We should have got rid of Sancho in the summer. I'm a big fan of Sancho. Super talented.
We should have known.
It was never going to work. Why has it took for these two to have a public issue for Manchester United? You know what? Let's get rid of Sancho. I said it all. If we're not going to play Sancho central, which wasn't going to happen once we signed Højlund, once we signed Mount, once you've got Amrabat in the mix, he wasn't going to play out wide. You got Garnacho, you got Rashford who he prefers, you got Palestri, you got Anthony who he prefers. Move him on. All parties should have sat down and sought this out because it didn't have to be public. With the Sancho thing, I understand why he didn't say sorry. I've said that before. If I'm him, I'm not. In regards to the training issue, in regards to him playing on the pitch, Sancho's not a Premier League winger. I've said this before. I think I think he'll be successful elsewhere. I don't think he'll be successful here.
No.
I think he'll be successful.
You know what's bad though?
We talked a few weeks ago what Brazil said. He works hard. Honest, God, I nearly spat my tea out when I see.
Who works hard? Anthony.
Sancho. He said that Sancho works hard.
It was another.
Again, that's laughable. That's a whole different thing.
Though?
Yeah, go on, Said. Go on.
I think for me though, we can't really blame Sancho. He's not even here. So this you know, the thing is, a lot of people were looking at, bro, Anthony's not doing anything. You know, guys, let me just tell you something. I'm going to tell you how many goals has a front four scored. Can you lot tell me how many goals they've scored altogether? Does anybody know?
What in the Premier League
this season?
11 in the Premier League, isn't it?
In the Premier League overall? Premier League.
No, Premier League, because we're talking about Premier League now.
I think is it 2?
Is it 2?
I think Rashford's got 1. He scored against Arsenal.
Yeah. That's it.
Surely someone else. Surely another forward scored.
Scarlett scored in the Premier League. Scarlett scored in the Premier League.
No.
Nah, he scored in the Carabao Cup.
Definitely not. Anthony's not.
Højlund's not.
Hasn't.
Nope.
No.
Police's not.
Police's not. It's 1. So as much as we can say Sancho, this and that, the players.
But the thing is, he wasn't, like I said, Saeed, Sancho was never going to work here. under Ten Hag and what Ten Hag was trying to do and how Ten Hag is going to play, all parties should have sat down and said, this is not going to work. Let's move him on. But in typical Manchester United fashion, we had to do it in embarrassing. We couldn't break up from the relationship in private. No, we had to add an argument out in front of the whole estate. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And start shouting each other's business for us to go, all right, let's move Sancho on in January. Move him on in the summer. Said it all summer long. It was never going to work here under Ten Hag. You can see there's been a breakdown in the relationship between the two. Who's right and who's wrong in regards to training is a whole different conversation. I'm not fussed about that. The only issue I've said about the whole situation is what Ten Hag said publicly. Other than that, they can say what they're going to say. But I think those two are happy with the resolution.
Why didn't we let him go then? Is that John Murtaugh?
Because we idiots. That's why. Because we do stupid things. Sure. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
It's an asset. It's a £70 million asset. You know what I mean? There's money tied up in him. That's why we didn't sell him, even if he's surplus. We couldn't. Look, we had offers for Maguire. We had offers for McTominay. Sancho was even muted, and we couldn't even get rid of him because the players. Man United have dug this culture where the players have the advantage. They've dug the reels in, and they're fucking still here. And
it's the mad contracts.
Mad contracts.
It's mad, and this is what goes upstairs affects on the pitch, but not in a playing way, player power way.
Yeah. I wanna read a couple of super chats here. Big up to Lucas. I appreciate that, bro. Come on, my guy. Big up to you, man. Teeman goes here. Sancho got called out for his work ethic. What does he do a week later? He seemed partying. If I got called out, I would work 10 times harder. You know what? What happens in international break, I never really focus on, because if you then are on the pitch and you deliver, then that's all that matters to me.
And
just to this, if I got called out by someone I didn't like publicly, I do what I'm going to do. I've said this about Sancho. That's why I can't be a hypocrite about the situation. If I get called out publicly and it could have been dealt with privately, I'm calling you back out publicly. Forget your title. F your title. I don't care. Manager, team leader, CEO, DOF, the owner. I don't care about all that. Man didn't have to say what he said publicly that sparked this. And in regards to him partying a week, so he can't party.
Yeah, but you don't talk. You just you get your head stuck down and you just work. You graft your short on the football field. Do you know what I mean?
But he's not been since that situation. No, Ash, he's not been out on the football field. He's not played since.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about him beforehand. I'm talking about that scenario. What Ten Hag did wrong was calling him out. He didn't need to say anything publicly. Talk to him privately.
You say that, but he tried everything. He'd sent him away to Holland.
Exactly.
He'd sent him, he'd give him all the nice, comfy approach, put his arm around him, when he came back after, spending a few months over in Holland. He tried, and then I feel like it was a last-ditch effort for trying like poke him a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Try and get a little bit of a reaction out of him. And he got the wrong reaction. He called it wrong, Ten Hag, unfortunately. But that shows the character of Sancho, really. Sancho should, We all dream. Everybody watching this right now, all of us sat here, we would all at one point in our life dreamt of playing on a football field professionally. Do you know what I mean? He's got that opportunity. He had the opportunity there, and to play for one of, if not the biggest club in world football. Yet he wants to play on his PlayStation. And again, you know what? I point back to it. It's just frustrating that he's not putting the commitment, the effort, the desire, the will. I don't know if you saw the Uncut with Roy Keane talking about it, mentioning it. He said something similar to what I'm saying here, in the sense that you just get stuck in. You prove your manager on the football field. You prove it on the training ground, and you shut him up there. You don't shut him up on social media. You shut him up in training, and you shut him up on the football field, and then you move somewhere else afterwards. Then you get you moved in January after you performed incredibly well for your football club, and you go, you know what? I've not enjoyed this man. I don't want to play under this man. I want to go somewhere else. Get me a move out, but still while putting in those performances on the football field. And yeah, Sancho's just not at that kind of that.
Yeah, that's all. Like I said, I don't think it was a pre-measured thing. We just lost to Arsenal and his head was hot. And that's why he mentioned it. I don't think it was an idea of, this is the way I'm going to get the best out of Sancho. Because one, I don't think he knew he was going to get asked that question about him. Like I said, I hear it in regards to Sancho in terms of his performances prior to this. Because even last season, I was last chance salute. And I said his performances weren't good enough. Move him on, that ties in. But the whole public spot, that's on Ten Hag at the end of the day. If he doesn't say that, we're still not discussing this now. That's my only
and he's
issue
got, for me, bigger issues anyway. I think what he needs to sort out now, and the immediate issue is getting us to play better football. And hopefully, like I said to you, that will be the aim, because I don't know whether he's got time to kind of play better football now, or if he's got time to get results, man. Because I feel like the United fan base is on eggshells at the minute, because they if they don't get the results, they're going to blame him. And if they don't get football, they're going
We
to
are
still
on the
blame him.
cliff top,
He's at,
and we are a foot away from falling to our doom. That's what it is. That's the analogy.
I think we falling.
yeah.
We just not hit the bottom yet. You know what I'm saying? Pause. But yeah,
we're in the vortex. It's a fucking hell of a fall. This is Palpatine falling.
We still
down
falling, man. We just, you know, like in The Simpsons when Homer Simpson be falling down the cliff and it's just never ending. That's what it is. That's us. We just falling. You know what I'm saying? We just falling.
Get hit by another rock and then another rock and then another rock.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know what? The amount of chances we conceded. The amount of chances we concede, you know, the amount of opportunities we give to our opponents as well. We've seen it against Wolves, we've seen it against Spurs. City are going to take those chances. City, you know, they're going to punish us where other teams haven't punished us. And it's worrying. And you look at our back four, who are we going to play at the weekend? Do you know what I mean? We're going to play with Evans, Maguire, you know, Varane, you know, as much as you love him, you know, fantastic football, his legs are going, aren't they? You know, it's worrying. It's worrying. It's concerning.
There's so many things wrong with level with our football club, even going through to the medical department. They can't diagnose a cold. Yeah. That's how bad it is. Like when we've lost Martinez, we're losing players. Like Wan-Bissaka's injured, this, that, the other. What goes on? I mean, last night, my man of the match for United was Unano, and he needed that confidence boost, and I'm glad he got that. He did well. He made a couple of good saves, and like I say, just carry it on, lad. He'll come good. Just keep at it.
Tell you what, though, Andy, he was ropey with it with that shot from Ryan Brewster in the second half when he hit that shot and it started swerving. You see Onana just looking a little bit wobbly there even for a split second.
Even the first half, I thought the shot he saved it into the penalty box area. He should have maybe kind of parried it out to the side. So as much as
I don't care if long as that big hand is pushing it away.
Baby you know what I mean? It's like when you it's a baby steps. It's baby steps for Onana. I think the team says Wan-Bissaka was heavy out of favour, quietly putting his work in, and now he's in Erik ten Hag's favourites. Yeah, just alluded to the bit of
that's all well and good, but he never mentioned it. Again, I think people are missing the point. My whole point about the situation is he never mentioned it publicly. I cannot be a hypocrite, is the point I'm making. For me, if I was a professional footballer and my manager calls me out publicly, I am saying something back publicly. If I believe what is said is incorrect, even if it's correct.
Oh, you know what, Flawless? I'm calling you out on it though, because he did it with Rashford, because he said that Rashford turned up late for training. That's why he dropped him for the Wolves game, and Rashford turned up there, and he did it to Garnacho as well. Do you remember Garnacho was having a bit of issue where he wasn't working hard and stuff, and Bruno had to have a word with him and stuff. So that's it. It's the personality of Sancho.
It's a personality thing, but with the Rashford one, he was spot on correct. Why was Rashford? I dropped him because he was late. Cool, that's not.
Well, he's probably, you know what? He's probably looked at those two moments and thought those worked. Those moments worked when I called those two players out. Then maybe thought, you know, I've tried everything else with Sancho, and again we're going on about Sancho still, but that's gone now. But yeah, it's one of those where when it comes to calling out the players, that's not somewhere where I'm looking at the manager and thinking he's doing poorly. I feel like generally he's got it right, you know, when it's come to calling out players. But like you were saying earlier, it's when he's dropping players or keeping players in the team for too long. That's the issue that I've got with him personally lately. Keeping Anthony in the team for too long, keeping Rashford. I mean, don't get me wrong, we saw it with him hauled against Brentford, and I love to see that when he got hauled off at about 60 minutes. You know, the fans were actually a little bit, you know, sarcastic.
I openly admit it. Double A said this of week, maybe because Garnacho was coming on as well. But I was all up. I was to say, get off Rashford. And there was a few people looking at me shocked and went, well, what do you expect? He's done nothing. Some people in the ground will not criticise and get off. I remember years ago when Ryan Giggs had a stinker. All them years ago, you know what I mean? Get off, Giggs, get off. And the crowd would like, we need something. And when Giggs went off,
it's the team before the players, isn't it? It's the team before the players, and it's the result before the players. It's about who's going to get you the result. It's not about who's the name.
It's the players now. It's not about the result. It's the players. They're looking after themselves, and that's the most disappointing thing.
But it looks bad with the players. Do you reckon the players are confused with the? Do you reckon? Because a lot of people say to me now they're not playing for the manager. I do think they're playing for the manager, but you can also play for the manager and still be kind of
Not good enough.
misguided, if that makes
They're
sense.
just not good.
Yeah,
They're just not good enough.
And then and
That's
good
why I
enough,
don't hear about them not playing, because the effort, as we can see, for the most part, yeah, you can pinpoint certain points in certain games, but when you're scoring last minute winners, players are trying. Go look at that game against Brentford. Like, the players are actively trying to equalize. Once we equalize, they're actively trying to score the winner. That whole game against Sheffield United, towards the end specifically, the players are still trying to score. I just hate giving them a way out.
If you go back to the Brentford game, lads, we were so lackluster, and after what happened with the equaliser and the winner, they talk big. Some of these players, they talk big, and they still don't deliver. Yeah. They talk big. Harry Maguire, 10 men, you know what I mean? Like, he's done it. Yeah, he played well last 2 games, but like you say, the narrative that the media come out, he was man of the match and he plays well every time. He's got an unbeaten record when he's picked.
They're feeling sorry for him now. They're feeling sorry for him now. You see Harry?
The media's feeling sorry for Harry Maguire.
He's 31, man. Come on, man. 31 now.
No, he's got a great agent, great PR department, hasn't he? I mean, got one of the best in the league. You know, putting out them little pamphlets and all that. So somebody from his team, somebody from Maguire's team, they've sent in those facts, he's sent in those pamphlets to Sky Sports, to the media, say, listen, push this. This is what we want you to talk about. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like with Maguire,
I've got to say this.
I feel like with Maguire, he's playing well. And I give him his credit, but I feel like people are overdoing it now. Just relax, because you know what I mean. Yeah. I feel like for me, you know, he should have gone in the summer. That's one thing as well, and he should have went, and that thing is in total, but. Okay, give credit when he's playing well, but I feel like it's going overboard now. This
guys, I'm
feeling sorry for him.
If he plays next
Sky
week,
Sports and all that.
He could get spit roasted next week by Ireland. He could really unfold in and Alves. We could. I don't even want to comprehend it if he's starting in that.
Yeah.
It was one game against Sheffield as well. Do you know what I mean? It was one game and it was half a decent performance. It's okay to say that. It's okay to say, okay, he's had a good performance, and that was it. That was it. It wasn't a great performance. It wasn't outstanding. It wasn't
just like Crystal Palace in the cup.
A good performance, not great.
Yeah. But we know they're doing. You know what they're doing, PR. Go on.
Yeah, I thought Amrabat, had a great game yesterday. You know, you look at him. You look whenever he receives the ball. You know, he keeps things ticking. You know, he looks assured on the ball. You look at him and you feel comfortable. You don't feel that stress. You don't feel that heartburn coming in when you see Maguire on the ball. You see Bruno on the ball. Do you know what I mean? You see those players on the ball and you're instantly thinking, right, this is a moment where we're losing possession and we're getting countered. Whereas Amrabat, you feel comfortable again against the Brentford. You know, in that second half, you'd have seen it, Andy, like there. It was every time he was any player was coming close, he'd just drop a shoulder, turn his man, and then just pass the ball forward so effortlessly. And I love him. I want to see more of him. I'm desperate to see more of him, and I want to see him next to Casemiro. You know, with a little bit more structure and stability. Whether Casemiro's fit enough, apparently his ankle issues for Sunday, who knows? But
yeah, you know what? I think for me, you know what I mean. I wanna trust these players, but I'll be honest with you, man. It's one of them where you know you never know what you're gonna get. It's like a pack of cards, isn't it? You just don't know what cards you're gonna get. That's my thing with these players, man. And this is why I'm like, bro, we can't keep struggling, man. Like this season just feels like a continuation of a struggle. Do you reckon though, Flawless, on a real one? Because you know I'm not really Ten Hag. I don't think anybody here is Ten Hag out, but there are a lot of people who've just had enough. You know, do you think for them people who have had enough, like, is there hope that it could get better, or you know? Because for me, I'm hoping it gets better, but that's just me because
again,
I'm like,
hope.
I'm
well, you said it just there.
Yeah, I'm in hope. I'll admit that, but I said it on a podcast before. I knew when I was Ollie out. I knew when I was like, I'm done with Ollie. I'm not really done with Ten Hag just yet, but I'm like Ten Hag fix up, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. That's where I'm at. It's not Ten Hag out. It's not Ten Hag. It's not Ten Hag in. It's not Ten Hag out. It's Ten Hag out. But more every single game, the case is building against you. I want to defend you in this court. I want to defend you. But game in, game out, even when we win, look, we've just won a game. Imagine what it would have been like if we would have dropped points against Sheffield United. Look at how we're talking about the team because we're talking about the performance. We're talking about individuals, lack of style, etc., etc. So again, week in, week out, he's just giving you more and more evidence to suggest that he can't turn around.
We'll just go get Brian Potter. like that stupid rumours happening
Oh man,
today.
did you hear that?
Oh,
Did you guys
seriously.
believe that?
Wait.
Oh
Go and get
my
who?
God.
Wait, Andy, hold on. Go and
Graham
get.
Potter. Graham
Phoenix
Potter.
Knights.
Did you
Yeah,
not
it's
hear
a
the
slow
news?
news day. It's a slow news day. There was like come on now.
Bro, I couldn't
Wait.
believe it. I was like,
Saeed,
what?
Andy, wait. You might have been in this space longer than me. There was one Premier League game today, which was Aston Villa West Ham. Slow news day. Come on, man. We know what it is now.
Yeah.
If there was a game at half
slow
4, United
news
were
day.
playing Sheffield United at half 4 or 2 p.m. That story's not coming out. They know what it is, man. Like Ash said it last week. A journalist said it. You will never go broke talking about Manchester United. You will always get clicks.
Facts.
Insert manager name here, linked to Manchester United, whether it's Graham Potter, whether it's De Zerbi,
Reluctivo as
whoever
well.
the case
This
is.
is not
man, come on.
for me. I've never ever believed this source. There's one source here that I never believe, and it's this one here. I'm always reluctant, and it's in the name. You know what I mean? Reluctant Nico. You know what I mean, bro? Because, bro, I'm reluctant to to take this guy seriously, whoever it is. But it says here, Graham Potter is a possible candidate for Man United if Jim Ratcliffe decides to sack Everton out. Well, I might go outside and decide to be a millionaire, but it might not happen, will it? You know what I'm saying? So this idea is so far-fetched, yeah? No, but it's true, though. It's so far-fetched.
That's a brilliant analogy,
just-
Saeed. I'm going to use that.
Yeah, but
That's
it is, though.
brilliant, yo.
You know, you can go outside and decide a millionaire. It ain't going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so there's so many hypotheticals, and I think for me, they're playing on the fact that it's not going well for Ten Hag. But the last person I want is Graham Potter. I'm sorry. This guy
Slow
absolutely
news day,
froze
man.
at
I
Chelsea.
would rather have Graham
don't care.
Potter from Phoenix Knights, Peter Kay, that character managing
Yeah.
Man United.
It's a slow news day. It is, but yeah, with Ten Hag, he needs to fix up, because if we carry on like this, he is going to continue to lose matches and he will eventually get sacked, because all these things about people, I just want him to implement a style of play and it's okay.
Yeah.
Results matter at Manchester United. We've seen it with Van Gaal. Van Gaal's style of play was clear as day. He implemented that style, but we didn't get results. So therefore, he got sacked after winning the trophy. So yes, as much as I want to see him implement a style of play, you have to continue to get results. Yeah, go on, Ash.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like maybe it's just, I've seen the last 10 years, but I feel like I'm at that point where I'm happy to give him, for the rest of the season and even another season, just because getting his players, getting what he wants. With Ajax, he got them to the semi-final. He got them playing well. Look at Ajax now without him. Do you know what I mean? Ajax are, teetering relegation. Just support them and back them, man. Okay, we're going to have these painful moments. Like you saw with Klopp in his second and third year, struggling. Arteta finished 8th in his second or third year. I can't remember which, but just kind of have to suffer this pain. So the first 2, 8th, we're just going to have to suffer this pain, and it's tough because he kind of set us up nice, didn't he, last season? Finishing 3rd and winning the League Cup. He overachieved, didn't he?
That's my problem, Ash.
If we'd have finished 5th last season and won the League Cup, this season we'd be going, okay, it's building process, okay. But because we finished, we pushed closer. Even I think it was January, it was looking like we were what I think it was like 4 or 5 points off the top, and then we get in the Glazers bring in 2 low. They're bringing Sabitzer and Weghorst, 2 lone players to support. Like when we desperately needed a striker. I mean, the thing is as well. The thing is as well. Sorry for keep cutting you off, boys. But what it is the Anthony signing has kind of stunned us, because spending 80 million on Anthony, that's if he hadn't done that,
God.
if they spent. Yeah, spending 80 million on Anthony kind of killed us, because we're worried about where he's going and his decision making with signing and bringing players in. So that's been a big crux for him, and that's been an issue. And I feel like we don't know what was going to happen in January. The players, you look at the injuries that we've had this season, it's just a situation where also getting smashed by Liverpool last season 7-0, and instead of like shoring it up, and he's not that kind of manager that
will happen this season. Do you reckon that will happen this season? Do you reckon we'll get smashed?
We are definitely.
No doubts.
We are definitely capable. When we was down to Bayern Munich 4-2, I was fearful of it. I was like, this could become 7, 8, or 9. Unfortunately enough, it didn't. But that's definitely in my mind. If we go 3-4-0 down to somebody, it could be record breaking. And Ash mentioned it there. I know what you can do. That's where my issue lies with him. We watched him last season with worse players, less of his players, less money invested. Finish 3rd, get a trophy, 2nd best home record. Very good from a defensive standpoint outside of the 2 beatings we got as well. I watched you turn water into wine last season. Now you're here turning water into toilet water. Like, it's too far. You can't do such a 181 is my biggest issue. And I'm not sat here saying sack him. The only reason why I'm not saying sack him is because of what he did last season. So I know you are capable, because it's not like it's an Ollie thing where it's like, I have no previous evidence. I have evidence of you turning this round, but my patience is wearing thin, because at this moment in time, I've not been this disconnected to Manchester United. I don't like anything.
You know what helps him though? What helps him at the moment is the fact that there's not a manager out there that looks like you could bring him in. You know, there's not that exciting name. Yes. If Zidane was lurking, or if there was like a manager where you're thinking that the Glazers or John Murtaugh would look and think, yeah, we can bring him in and get the fans on side, get the media on side and stuff, then we'd be worried. So we're kind of lucky in the sense that there is no options out there right now. So we've got to stick by him. You just got to.
The fans wanted him at the time. So they were all for fucking Poch.
Pochettino,
Poch, this guy in the media, all that, sucking.
Gary Neville and all that.
The fucking Gary Neville. Oh, I can't slag. Oh, Poch. The club listen to the fans and they give us they give us Ten Hag, and they're backing him. They are really backing him and trying. But if, like you say, players like overstay their welcome. Managers don't. We know this is a rebuilding process. Like you say, this is what we did. We didn't expect last season, did we? We will, say, fifth if we're good, maybe win Europa League. But man, did we overachieve? We really did. And we came into this season thinking, you get the right recruits. Jesus, Kate, you got Kim Min-jae, Harry Kane. Fucking hell, could be title contenders. But it wasn't. We couldn't organise a picnic upstairs at Man United. So it is what it is. It's a building process. I know my time of football is different. Fergie's second year. Fergie went 4 years before he started getting results. Do you know what I mean? So like that was my generation.
You say that, Andy. You say that even today though. Even today, though, Klopp we can always point to it. Klopp's needed a couple of years. Arteta's needed a couple of years. You could say Man City with Pep Guardiola. He had a poor first season. Well, I won't say poor first season. He finished fourth, but he had that backbone of Kevin De Bruyne, Company, Silva, Aguero, the lot. Do you know what I mean, to build upon? So whereas you look when at the same time Mourinho, we had Smalling and Jones and a faded Rooney and faded players at the time. So yeah. Right now, Ten Hag's come in and we've seen the season before. The season before Ten Hag, people forget this. The season before Ten Hag came in, that was our worst ever season in the Premier League. 100%. Our worst ever in Premier League history. Do you know what I mean? And then
some of these players are still here. Yeah, some of these players are still fucking here. They will not accept responsibility.
Yeah. And of the back four and the midfield three, only one is his signing. The back four, who was it? Lindelof, not his. Evans, well, I mean, Evans, you could say it's his, but is it really his signing? Do you know what I mean? Maguire, Delot, Bruno, McTominay, only Amrabat and maybe Evans, you could say. And that's your core of your team. That's where you build your base. That's your foundation that you build out from. He's not had these players. He's desperate, like you were saying before, for Kim Min-jae or Todibo, or just to bring those to bring. He's desperate for apparently for Frimpong and Malacia, who've not seen much of, and we missed out on Luke Shaw, which apparently he's happy with, and he's just not had that foundation to build upon. So he's scrambling, and it looks like we're scrambling.
I hear that. You know what? I fully hear it. He's had injuries. He's had baby silences, whatnot. But I think ultimately, I can't lie to you guys, it still has to be better, though. I think there still needs to be
it stinks.
It stinks. And you know what? Don't get me wrong. I'm going to back him until I possibly can, until I know it will not improve. But I still think in the immediate future, guys, there has to be a level of demand of it must get better. Doesn't mean we're going to smash City or whatnot. But I just want to see us have a coherent style. When we're playing football, we actually enjoy watching it. Right now, I could be on my phone or I could be staring at the wall over there and I'm like, I'm doing the watch-alongs and I'm like, what are we talking about here? We're talking about, what we're having for tea tonight. And that was like when I used to be with Van Gaal. Maybe you were Stratford Panic. I don't know if you were talking about something random in the game, mate, Andy.
Oh, we did, yeah. We started talking about Avengers Endgame and all that with fucking...
But that's classic.
I was talking Avengers with Louis Van fucking Gaal when watching that football.
By the way, classic, though. Avengers Endgame, classic.
Super classic. For a fucking Iron Man, who would have a face down, who would win in the SmackDown, and the fucking scoring the opponent at Old Trafford. I was talking comics during Louis Van Gaal's fucking season in the ground.
And the thing is, that's it right there. Because in regards to, I hear it about him not being his signings and things like that. I'm just asking us to be organized. I watch Everton play Liverpool. Everton don't have good players.
Yeah.
They don't have. I watched them go down to 10 men at Anfield. And yes, Liverpool dominated the ball, but there was just organization. I'm just asking for the. I'm just asking for us the basics.
Football. I've started watching the champ. I've been watching Norwich, Leeds, and all that. I'm watching the Championship just to see some good football. You know what I mean? Just just the highlights, just to see some good football play. No, like say, I don't expect. There's no style of play with this club. I'm watching other teams' football just to get some entertainment and just see some goals. I mean, Declan Rice's goal yesterday, fucking hell, that was brilliant. Jesus Christ!
You know what I think it is with Ten Hag, though?
Style of play. Are we the only team? Be honest, without a style of play. Like, be honest, guys.
Yeah.
Are we the only team in the Premier League?
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But that for me has to change in the immediate future. I get it, I'll back him or whatnot, but we need to see what you are known for. What are we known for? I can go out there, you can tell lads, yo, we're gonna do this to you, and this is what we're gonna do today. Not just transition football, and it's easy to do that, but you won't be able to get the opportunity because you'll have a low block, you'll have a team that's aggressive. Aston Villa are a good team now. Newcastle are a good team. Like, there's good teams now there that have shown the blueprint. Unai Emery is a good coach. You know what? I'm not going to lie to you. I was watching today. They battered West Ham 4-1, was it? And you know what? I looked at them and thought, you know what, man? Unai Emery's got a more distinguishable style of play than us. And that is something that...
Have you seen the meme going around today about Emery and the former manager he was talking to? It's like somebody's took your wife.
Yeah, Dean Smith.
And what you've done to it, and she's performing better than
was
you
he
ever
available?
did.
Was he there?
Yeah.
Dean Smith was asking Unai Emery the questions on Sky Sports.
Wow. Yeah. But to be fair,
he looked like a broken man. He's like a broken man.
And your missus, she's so good now. So good in the sack. And he's like, oh my God, I can't say it.
Yeah.
That was like humiliation. Like I say, he's getting paid to be a pundit, but like I say, she's right. She's running right in the sack now, man. She is purring every sack. Right?
And that was Dean Smith saying it as well. He was like, oh yeah, she looks mint.
Hey, listen, man. It's crazy, man. I don't know how they even listen, fair play to Dean Smith. I don't know if he's still managing yet. I'm sure he was at Norwich and he got sacked as well. So yeah, listen, man. It's one of them, man. Abdi Sheikh says this manager's not good enough. Stop making excuses. No style of play, no patterns. Can't create. Rashford and Bruno start every game. Eric Ten Hag out tonight.
See, that's the problem with that. You see the statement he just made there. As much as I want to defend, I can't. Everything he said so far is, not in terms of making excuses. I disagree with that part, but in regards to not creating, no style, no patterns of play, he's spot on. Can't even argue with what he's saying. Ten Hag, you making it tough, man. Just give us something, 100%. Please.
Give us something. Give us something
to defend.
Big up to Teamman, man. Been active tonight. I appreciate the donations, my friend. Todibo, Pavard, Kim Min-jae, and Decisive. Those are the centre-backs Eric Ten Hag wanted. What did he get? 408-year-old Evans. Listen, 408-year-old Evans, I can't lie. As much as I want to banter him, he's actually holding his own fort right now. I can't lie. I'll be honest with you. He's got.
But that's just because you're comparing him to our other centre-backs. That's the only reason why, because you're comparing him to our other centre-backs.
Yeah.
You put him in anybody else's team, he probably looks dreadful, doesn't he? But he's looking decent for us.
Yes. And on top of that, with all them players he supposedly linked with, and he wanted this, that, and the third. If, like I always say this, if a manager's being hindered that much that you can't get you're being hindered by the signings you're getting, not getting, and you can't get target A, B, C, D, leave. Say this all the time. I can't. Yeah. You can clearly not. You can't do your job to the standard you need because you are not getting set targets.
You won't blame him.
And if he turned around and resigned and said, you know what, I'm resigning because I asked for such and such and didn't get, we'd all go cool because you can't. That's why I'm not hearing the excuses. Because when we win, we don't hear about that. When we win, so last season when we won, when we was playing well and getting results, we didn't hear about that. So that's why I'm not hearing about it now. It's going bad. No excuses, man. If you are on the field,
you know what I think it is with Ten Hag, though? I think he's a manager that he's one of those managers like a Pep Guardiola, like a Mourinho. He's a top-tier manager when he's got all his pieces that he wants. When he struggles a little bit, when he's not got the team that he wants, or he's got a lot of injuries, he hasn't got the plan B, C, and D that you see to some of the best managers. Like the Sir Alex Fergusons, the Ancelottis, those kind of managers. Even Diego Simeone, you could argue, is like he needs his full team, and I don't think he's able to handle and be able to put go to a counter-attacking system and kind of play a low block and look to catch teams on the break and expose teams with our speed, like you've seen with Ollie. And okay, people argue, oh, we've been a counter-attack team for years, but right now we kind of need to be again, because you see the amount of opportunities that teams come to United, or whenever we play away from home, we're just so open and we create so many chances for our opponents. Where we need that kind of structure that, like you were saying there with Everton are able to hold off and withhold Liverpool because they're able to play that defensive, that low line, you know, whereas Ten Hag, he's not accustomed to that. He's not used to that. You know, that's not what he wants to do. He wants to be giving the ball to his opponents, and he wants to be pressing high up the field, which then creates loads of space in the back and creates loads of open spaces. Like you saw yesterday with Sheffield, you know, our players 15, 20 yards away from each other. Usually, that's why Harry Maguire is not as great as he was at Leicester, because he needs someone, and that's why he's much better in a back three, because he needs someone that's 5 yards away from him, that's next to him, left and right. When his teammates, his centre back and his left backs 10, 15 yards, and there's no one extra there to cover or to go like press the man on the ball, then he's exposed. He's wide open in space, and unfortunately for Ten Hag, he's got those players that aren't used to playing the way he wants to play. So again, I'll defend him, because it's clear to see that the players that we've got, they completely the antithesis of what he wants from players. You know, you heard him again in the post-match conference saying that these players, they're playing dynamically, which essentially means they're playing however they want to play, because I can't give them a rigid system, because they don't know how to play this rigid system that I want them to play. So they kind of make the decisions by themselves in any given moment. You see how many times you see with United players, they know move A, and that's it. They get the ball, and then it's like, right, now we start thinking. They don't know about move B, C, D, or E. They have no options. They have no plan. They have no guide, and they have no man waiting, and the people around them, the players around them, they're not making the moves, creating the space, because everyone's playing for themselves. Do you know what I mean? And that's the problem. It is very much dynamic, and they're not system players. So it's just a difficult issue that he's going to have to get through, and it's going to take a while. Like you saw, again, I'll point back to Klopp and I'll point back to Arteta, who had these players that weren't their system guys. The reason why they were finishing 8th and the reason why they were finishing low in the positions, because they didn't have their men. You know, and it's going to take a little while, and it's not good enough. Don't get me wrong, Flawless is right. It's not good enough where we are right now, but I just don't feel like Ten Hag's that kind of manager, and I don't think, okay, you should expect better, but not all managers are fully rounded managers and they can do everything. Do you know what I mean? I don't think he's the manager that when things are going tough, he's able to play those low blocks, get the team tight. He's just a man that when he's got his players, he's going to play superb football, and he's going to perform well, win you things like Pep Guardiola, like Mourinho. Once he's not got his players,
the structure's in place at them clubs, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Man City. It's all there. We are a fucking Lego land of a fucking club, and it's not.
You know what?
There's nothing there.
Yeah, there's one bit I wanted. I didn't see the quote from Gullit. You know, is it Gullit? 1 second.
Ruud
Gullit about Hoyland. Yeah, Hullet selling. Yeah. I want to get this quote up here, but big up to Amoon says, Mount is more suited to Erik Ten Hag football compared to Bruno. That's, you know what? That's a good point, you know, man. I can't lie to you. Tima says Pep had Demichelis, Zabaleta, and Bravo and scraped a 4th place spot.
I hear that in regards to Pep and Klopp, those two in particular who were successful, they still played their way though. Even with the players who weren't good enough. Like if you look back and check Klopp, like he was still playing
battered, weren't they? You saw him
they got battered,
against...
but they still finished top 4. And I think they made in the first 2 out of the 3 seasons. Barbados love that. Big on my Bajans in the building.
Big up Barbados, mama. Big up,
man. In the first 2, I think 2 of the 3 seasons, did he not make the finals? So he made a Europa League final. He made a
if he's doing it right,
Europa League. Yeah, like
he
I'm just saying
consecutive finals all the way through.
It just has to be better. That's what we're better than 8th. 7.
Oh, for sure.
What's going on? Yeah, like that's.
I mean, he did it last season, didn't he?
Where you're coming from, but if we have to be a cup team to get to that level to be in the Premier League, cup final. If you're winning cup finals and you're losing cup finals, you're still doing something right. That's what Klopp did. He lost the League Cup final. He lost the Europa League final.
Yeah, he lost a lot of finals.
Another League Cup final. Then the penny actually fucking dropped, and he won a Champions League. Yeah. He won a Premier League. So if you can't do it in one competition, but you're still doing it in other competitions. You're getting it right until that system drops into the Premier League.
Yeah. You know what? I want to bring up this quote here on Rasmus Højlund. I don't know if you guys agree with this one, but it says here, they are not really looking for him, and he's in the area where you can see him. There are too many players who want to score on their own, who cut in the middle. The scorers need goals. If he's happy in the team, it makes a huge difference to the others. You know what, man? He's just kind of echoing what we all say, man. I always said with United, yeah, they're a bunch of individuals, and they all want the glory. And none of them are kind of like these selfless players, like, you know, back in the day, Ryan Giggs and whatnot. Like even Ronaldo was self, and Wayne Rooney was one of the biggest ones where he used to always facilitate for others. But you know what? Like, there's a mad stat here. Apparently, since Ronaldo has left, strikers playing for Man United have only scored 4 goals.
Because we don't.
You guys know that, man.
It's not a surprise to hear that, because all of our forward players are shoot first. That doesn't mean they don't create. That doesn't mean they won't get assists. What I'm saying is their first 4 is to score goals. So when you look at Rashford, when you look at Anthony, when you look at Bruno, you can throw Garnacho in the mix as well. They are all like Eriksen, for example, is a pass first player. He's going to look to create before he scores goals. Whereas, like I said, all the others we mentioned, of course he's going to start. But again, that's on the manager building that around, because Anthony tries to cut in and shoot. Rashford tries to cut in and shoot. Bruno's going to shoot first. We know this. Højlund's a striker, of course. So's Garnacho. He's of the same, but there's no different type. Where's the creators in there? We don't have any.
And I think if you look for the last couple of years, they've not had a striker to service, have they? Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of almost new to him, because Weghorst wasn't doing anything. He wasn't getting in any kind of position. So, you know, they're not accustomed to it. Rashford's had to change and adjust himself to going from being a player that he's had to kind of take everything on his own shoulders and up from last season to trying to provide for Rasmus Højlund. And listen, you know, we're looking at Rashford's performance yesterday. If Rasmus gets onto the end of that cross, which was a beautiful cross, you know, that one was 4 yards out. We're talking about a fantastic bit of team play.
I feel like he needs to anticipate these ones, because he's missed a couple now where he's just not anticipating. But that means, you know what it is? Sometimes, you know, when you're just not sure if they're going to cross it or not, and you're just kind of waiting. I feel like that's what Rasmus Højlund is doing. He's thinking, you know what, man? I've always put myself in positions, but Rashford's just cut in and shot. So maybe I'm like, you know what? I'm not ready. So then when he does do it, Rashford, he's not ready to kind of anticipate that. That's where you have to trust each other to be like, I will get you, bro. Stay there and I will find you. Like De Bruyne to Haaland, it's just like, yo, man's got you. Just stay there. Like, they know what they're doing. They play through to Haaland. They know where to go.
We think with them two at ours, there's a bit of selfishness between them. With Rashford, you don't want to pass. And I seen this the other week against Brentford. Højlund could have passed to Rashford, and in fact, you know, he had a shot himself instead. I'm not passing to you, Rash. I'm going for it. So it's got to click between them, or otherwise there's no point.
No point at all, man. And this is where we're at right now, man. Like I said, I think for me, you know, it's you know, the 007. I see the Chelsea fans in the chat and Arsenal fans, and I get it. But if you're a Man United fan and you thought,
I know Arsenal and Chelsea fans are not trying to take shots with Jackson and Havertz in their sides. Let's not do this. Let's have some shit.
They're being
shameless. You know what I'm saying?
They're being shameless.
Hey, if Jackson would have went round the goalkeeper, hey Chelsea, maybe you lot would have won. Hey, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Arsenal mentality. They won 3-2 yesterday. I seen that meme going around. 97th minute, mental attitude. We won 3-2 yesterday, even though it was a 2-all draw.
And as for you Arsenal jokers as well, we all in the same jail. We just in 24-hour lockdown. You lot get more yard time. That's all it is. We all in the same jail. You lot ain't winning nothing either. You lot ain't winning nothing either. You know what I'm saying? You go finish third or second and be happy with it. You know what I'm saying? Well done. Well done.
You know what? You know what it is as well? I feel like for me, you know what it is with Højlund? Like, I wasn't in that boat that I was like, Højlund's just going to get 30 goals this season. I said, yo, listen, don't expect a lot from him. Like, you know, we've got a young striker. This is why, for me, I wanted maybe a more experienced striker to come in to know, you know, kind of get it. You know, when it's going tough for him, he knows how to get a goal here and there and experience. But that's where we should have got Harry Kane and Rasmus Højlund. You should have got two. One to learn from the player first, and then the other one to kind of come in and he's ready-made. You know what I'm saying to you? So that's where I feel like for me, it's one of them where, boy, you have to just wait till it clicks, man. You know, there's nothing much else in it. Martial, I'm sorry, man. He ain't cutting it, bro. He doesn't even have an impact when he comes off the bench. Like, just nothing.
He's just not good at
it. I don't want it.
We know this.
You know, so it's a big week,
going
guys.
back to,
But
going
Yeah,
back
go
to
on, go on.
Højlund, though, you can say also, I mean, you could say making excuses, but I mean, he didn't have a preseason, did he? You know, he struggled with that injury coming in, you know, not able to play. So really, what's this? He's like fourth game of the season for him, really. You know, with a new team, young kid, new, you know, settling down, all that. So he's already had opportunities, chances, and he's looking like he's only a few inches away from scoring goals. It's not like he's having no chances. When he's getting the ball, he's looking terrible. He's horrendous. You know, he's got a bad touch. We all saw that last season with Weghorst, didn't we? You know, Weghorst, we could clearly see that this guy's, you know, just a fraud. You know, he shouldn't be playing for Manchester United.
Yeah.
He's way, you know, he's nowhere near his level. You look at Højlund.
He may have been a fraud up front, but I won't commit his. I won't.
His work rate.
His fucking effort. His work rate and effort.
Yeah, but Andy, if you was up top there, you'd work hard.
This season.
But you know yourself, you'd work hard, wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean? If you got given that opportunity coming from Besiktas or whatever it was, Burnley and that, you would do, wouldn't you? So
he did more than half of them fucking players have done so far this season.
Yeah, and let's not forget as well.
You're right. He wasn't good up front, but his work rate cannot be fucking doubted.
Let's not forget Højlund as well. He's doing well in the Champions League, and he's scoring goals there as well. Yeah, and he's scoring goals. Let's not forget that. I'm saying.
Yeah. Big up YUFC. I'm not gonna lie, I feel positive about the team. If you told me where we'd be this bad and are 6 points off top of the league, I'll take it. Maybe that's the
we're
best
not
way
6,
to
we're
kind of-
more off
yeah.
the top, aren't we? It's more points than that. Surely
No.
it's not 6.
15 points.
I think it is.
Hey, Ash, we're 1 point off Champions League spot.
Yeah, so we 1 point off Champions League, but we're more off the top though. 21 points, 6 points off the top. Forget it, boys. We're winning the league.
Yeah, I knew Ash was going to say that.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for Ash to say
Listen,
that.
boys, you
This
got to believe. Do you know what I mean?
This is where you could. This is where the knife falls. Where's it going to fall next fucking Sunday with results? You could be like
That's what I'm saying.
Out of Champions League, or you could be on the crest of fucking everything. This is where it's so crazy. That's the first time I've looked at the league table all weekend.
Yeah, I don't really look at the league table. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't really pay attention to the league. I'm just
until January,
you know
at
what it
least.
is, yeah, until January. But also, it's because I just know all these teams here, bro. They're there, bro. Like Chelsea are not even in the equation here. This top 10, yeah, I'm not even lying to you. From 4th or let's say 5th to 10th, they all could be in and amongst each other. They could be. They basically could top 1 minute, one's that up. You get it? Like there could be like changes every single week from 5th to 10th.
Place
yeah?
is Champions League, isn't it? 5th place is
Champions
Champions
League. Based on coefficient.
Yeah, and Saeed, before January, we play Chelsea, West Ham, Newcastle, Aston Villa, Liverpool. Yeah, so I mean, January's going to be interesting for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, but for me, it's this week coming ahead. That's where we need to kind of focus on and whatnot. But like I said, man, right now you could feel like you're within grasp. It's like the title race last season. Andy was getting excited, but then I said to him, Andy, relax. In a couple of weeks, it's all over. That's why for me, I'm just taking it game by game. And you know what? I just want it to improve slowly and slowly. Like, just improve. I just want to enjoy watching my United. That's what I want to do. When I come to United, and be like, you know what? We beat 3-0 Fulham away after the Manchester derby. Or we actually competed with Man City and we got a draw or something, but it was an entertaining game. Yeah, I want to see.
We could turn up Tuesday and fucking turn it on like a bath tap. You know what I mean? And you're like, whoa, where's that been, lads? Then we can go back to a shell on Sunday. So
yeah, I just don't know if the performances. I just don't know if the performances are gonna reach a level to Man City. That's why I'm. But you know what? I spoke to a lot of City fans yesterday. Yeah, I seen a couple of City fans last night, and they were like, "I don't know. You know, I think a draw. You know, I think we'll get a draw there." They're not confident with us. You know, as much as you think we're not confident, they're not.
You know why? You know why they're not confident? Because they ain't watched us week in, week out for the past 2 months. Trust me, that's why. You watch us for 90 minutes, and you're gonna be confident against us. Trust me. That's what that is. That false hope. They ain't been watching us. Any of us, find me a United fan who's confident going into this derby.
Yeah. This is it. This is it, man.
You watch, that's it.
I've said this on the paddock yesterday. I will write off the Etihad derby as a defeat this season. Fair enough. It's winning your fucking own derby or getting something out of it that counts this season now. That's it. Same with Liverpool. You win your game.
Just not getting smashed. That 5-0 against Liverpool.
Yeah, I'll write
Bro,
off the Anfield, and if we lose 1-0, you tell me now we'll lose at City and Anfield this season 1-0, 2-1. That's fine as long as we're not getting fucking smashed, but we give it our all in the home games.
I don't think it's even that, I feel disappointed more by scraping against bloody Sheffield United, man. I feel when you kind of do something guilty, you do something bad, and you didn't need to do it, you just, you know what I mean? And then you kind of like, I feel bad about that, man. I should not have done that.
You saw an old lady walking up the street, but there's a 20 quid in front of you and you pick it up and put it in your pocket. Do you know what I mean? But the old lady thinking, was it hers? I shouldn't have done that, really. Should have gone and shout her, tell her it was hers, just to check. Now, just stick it. Do you know what I mean? I'm off.
Find a five. Oh no, it's that old lady's. Oh no. Should I keep? Oh, it's that
that's a
dilemma,
isn't it? That's a
it was Sheffield's win. It was Sheffield's result. Sheffield deserved more out of the game. They had the heart. They had the desire. They had the quality yesterday to beat us. Do you know what I mean? And we snatched it. And that's shocking. The fact that we snatched it and we're talking about like a close last 10 minutes we needed to get that winner. And it had to be a miraculous goal even. It wasn't like we were dominating.
To Sheffield United, they have given a few teams they ran Tottenham and Man City close this season. They really have. And
you say that, Andy, but they had like 70% possession and like 30 shots in both of those games for both. Whereas we were like even pretty much with Sheffield. They had similar shots to us. So it's kind of like that those results kind of flatter Sheffield. Whereas this one really, Sheffield probably should have got the draw at least.
This is what it is. Sunday could wreck our season, but Sunday could fucking hell inject our season. Galvanise it.
Felt like after the game.
I heard that against Brentford. Yeah. That didn't feel like a fucking turning point. Even if the commentator was getting so giddy.
That's why people would have said to me, why are you buzzing about the result? I'm not buzzing about the result.
It's relief. Like, we got off. You know what I'm saying? We got off the case, relief. But only because the witness disappeared. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know what it could be?
That's the reason why.
Wow.
Like, that's how we got off. It was meant to be with actual evidence.
Am I Keefy D or what? Am I just living 25 years bragging them? My name's Keefy D, man. And not only now it's a penny fucking drop because I've been opening my mouth. Keefy D.
Yeah, you've been talking,
he did that. You're fucking next.
You know, last season when we beat Liverpool, it might be one of them moments. You know, we beat Liverpool at home and then it started. Things started to turn a little bit.
It did.
Now I'm opening your.
I can't lie. I just feel like it's one of them where
we had because we expected a smashing from Liverpool.
We thought we was going to get battered by Liverpool.
Well, that's what it is. It's on the performance. Like, say we do get a result against City, but the performance isn't good, like, i.e. Brentford or Sheffield United. But look at it. But if we actually put in a good performance to get a result, we'll go, okay, that's something to actually say positive steps. Okay, this is kind of sustainable.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I'm not looking forward to it.
Yeah. And then last super chat here, as a legend once said, second half of the season, we're doing a title charge. Listen, YUFC, please stop this, man. We're not doing no title charge. We're finishing, for me, I think we're finishing 5th. I'm not going to lie to you guys. We're scraping the top 5. And that's
I'll say Champions League in place, if that's the thing.
Listen,
we lose the final at Wembley and we finish 5th. Fucking hell, I'll take it. We're in it.
Yeah, listen, that the Wi-Fi.
Hey, Saeed, happy birthday, mate.
Yeah, happy birthday, exactly, man. But yeah, people say not even finishing 5th. Let me know where we're finishing, guys.
Hey, Saeed, I was going to say you're my guy in that, but 5th, you know what I'm saying? The way we're going, I don't know if we finished 15th, but we move. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not sure about that. I said 5th.
Maybe again, it's hopium again. It's hopium,
yeah, it's
maybe.
Hope.
You know what I mean? 5th. Because I can't compete with finishing 7th. You know what it is? I don't want to tell myself we're finishing 7th because, bro, I do not want Europa League or Conference League football. Like,
hey,
bro,
I ain't gonna lie, run me Conference League. Give me Conference League. I'm with winner trophies, man.
We didn't expect anything this season. Last season,
we didn't.
We expected we were going to finish 6th or 7th. So don't expect anything this season, and we just might do it again. I mean, we just might do it again. Trophy in the top 4. You never know. There's 2 Wembley dates at the end of May. Fucking hell, give me one of them and a top 4 place.
Nah.
We'll know better on Sunday. We'll know much better on Sunday, won't we? Yeah, that's a litmus test.
7th, 5th is an overachievement for how we look. 8th sounds about right. You know what? It's magic. It's just because Newcastle now looking good, man. Everyone's looking good, man. Aston Villa looking good.
Yeah, we're a point behind them.
Still early in the season. Yeah. Maybe it is that, man. Maybe it's that. But guys, it's been a pleasure. Still haven't even reached 400 likes. There's still 730 of you in the chat. Please, guys, if you're watching right now and you haven't, get them like, it looks like that.
Muppets.
Yeah, there you go.
For good luck,
yeah.
Like for the win on Tuesday. Like for smashing City on Sunday, yeah? Hit them likes, boys.
Yeah,
Come on.
Like the video. You're
like
regulars,
if you
man.
want me to say title charge every fucking week.
There you go. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, if you guys are here every week, you know.
Charge.
There you go. But big up to everybody who's in here, man. Like the video. Flawless, man. What are you saying, bro? What you got coming on tonight? You live? What's going on?
Yeah,
hey, listen. I knew this guy was going to be here. I knew this guy. I didn't say anything, Steve, so don't put me in any conversation. I've been trying to calm everyone down. So big up to Big Steve. But yeah, go on, Flawless, bro.
Yeah, we'll go up to that. Yeah, slightly later than usual, 12, because I'm doing the Back Again podcast. Shout out to Troops every time. 12:30 a.m. people, live stream, Sarcasm City TV, sports Q&A. So we'll just be answering all the questions from the sporting chat. I mean, all sporting questions from the chat, and looking back at this weekend's games, just going and probably answering questions, mostly on United, because when United are doing bad, people love to want to talk to me about it. So yeah, Sarcasm City TV on YouTube, and big up for having me as always, Saeed, man. Appreciate it.
If we get smashed, are we going off grid? Are we going off grid?
Nah, I come in, win, lose or draw. I'm here, man. Here. I have to be honest with myself. So, here, Andy, you got to be here, mate. You got to show your face. You get smacked up.
I am not contracted to anybody, my friends. I am contracted.
Well, yeah, fair. But you know what? If you believe in you're gonna win, then you're gonna be here. So you're gonna win, man. Yeah, we're gonna win, Andy.
I'll be here in the bulletproof, man. I'm gonna be here in this.
Yeah,
I'm saying, I'm wearing it the whole day, man. The whole day.
There you go.
This is Sunday, and this is gonna be on.
Sancho next Sunday. I'll be Sancho next Sunday. I'll be Xboxing it. So on the Manchester Derby.
Oh my God, you love Sancho, don't you, man? What's going on? Big up to Big Steve. Yeah, listen, man. We're not booking anything, man. We're here, mate. We're here. Ash, let them know, man. What's going on, man? What you got coming up? And big up for having you on, man.
Yeah, appreciate it as always. Happy birthday, mate. Boys, hit them likes as always. There, see that there. Ash Meppers, go follow me at that. And you'll see me over at MUFC MPB as well. I'm bringing out a video tomorrow. It's over there, Andy. That's
Are you there on Tuesday?
I mean, so, there you go, boys.
There you go. Point that.
Are you there on Tuesday, mate? Are you there on Tuesday?
Yeah, I'll be there on Tuesday. There on Sunday as well.
I'll find you Tuesday, yeah. I might be there Sunday as well. It's booking. I've got a ticket for Sunday as well. So yeah.
Come on.
The derby's coming. I hope it's not a smashing. Who said that a few years ago? Yeah, I wonder who said that. An annihilation.
You said a lot. Andy. You said a lot, man.
10 fucking years next match. God, I hope I stay off grid for that. You know.
Yeah. Well, big up, Andy. It's been a pleasure. Big up to you, mate.
Appreciate it, mate, guys. Big up there, Saeed. Big up the other guys. Subscribe and like the channels, everybody. And hit the like button, you Muppets. Like, you just come in and just don't hit the like.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's like putting your shoes off. You got to take your shoes off before you come in the house.
Facts, man.
You know what I mean?
I'm saying, no etiquette, man. It's no manners. You hit the like button and subscribe to Saeed's channel, man. What are we doing? Let's get him to 100K expeditiously.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Make sure you go check out Flaws' stream 12:30. I want to see everyone there, people, man. So make sure you do that. And yeah, man, I'll see you tomorrow for the midday live with Lee Gunner and the rest. I'll see you there.